the times when it's really hard is when, for me specifically, is when I look at Johan, when he's in a bad cycle. You know, with Parkinson's, medication is what, sorry, I still have a little tear coming down. Medication is what gives the dopamine, the body, the idea that it's got dopamine and that it's good. When the dopamine wears off, Johan looks really debilitated. He becomes incredibly slow. Glacial speed is fast. It takes him ages to complete a movement. If he wants to put a plate down on the table, the time from where he's been holding it until it reaches where he can put it on the table can drive me mad sometimes, because I just want to take it and put it down, because it's easier for me to handle than to handle my uncomfortable feelings of watching him battling. And unless he asks me, I have to watch him. Because if we do things for those who are challenged, when they are not asking us, we are not allowing them to be in their own power. We are disempowering them. And if those who are being cared for, I'm not talking now about babies, I'm talking about people like Johan who actually physically have a disability and need caring in some way. Where we can, we've got to allow them to do what they can for themselves. And we've got to hold back. And that's part of what is so hard as a carer. Because you see how they're battling all the time. It's never away from you. There are times when I help Johan out of bed because he can't get up out of bed. And especially when it's late at night or when it's early in the morning and he hasn't been able to move any muscles yet, I want to crack up. He weighs so little, I can lift him. I shouldn't be able to lift him. He should have more muscle on his bones. And those are the times when you really, really have all your demons facing you. And I go, oh my God, what are we doing? I am 68, building a new business as a mentor, and he is 69, intending still to reclaim his life and work again. At the moment he can't. We've had a really hectic year. We chose to moved to Cape Town from Knysna. We left Knysna on the 3rd of November in 2016 and sold our house on the last day, which was fantastic. And this move to Cape Town has proved very interesting, with things like not realizing what shortage there is of housing, not even to speak about the shortage of water. We've got a serious drought. We actually stayed with our son in his house for the first 3 weeks in his sitting room. And so it unfolded. And then that very same son became critically ill. We nearly lost him and ended up having open heart surgery to boot. And he spent 54 days in hospital. And of course, Johan being ill really knackers us financially, because I don't have the time I need to focus on my business, and he can't. And the more stress he has, the less he can do. Because that is, his body is a barometer. The split second he has stress, he shakes more, he becomes slower, and the tablets don't, he calls it kick in. kick in quickly. And the tablets, and it's part of why he's not got much weight, is that those tablets are very specific. They rule our life. From the moment he takes the first tablet in the morning, there is a period before the next one can be taken, but there's also a period when he can eat protein and when he can't eat protein, because the protein is required on the one hand for the tablet, and on the other hand it doesn't let the tablet absorb sufficiently. So our whole life is determined by when can we eat and when does the next tablet need to be taken, which determines the eating, and the stress level determines how effective that tablet's going to be. There are times when he has no more than when it's really bad, he has no more than 4 hours a day that his body is strong and good. And when you see him then, you wouldn't think there's anything seriously wrong with him. He's become stooped as a result of I don't know if you know, but with Parkinson's, the feel-good, the dopamine isn't there. So the body contracts, it goes down instead of expands. And you can easily, psychologically, you can easily feel depressed. So there's always like a low-grade depression that he has to address and be aware of. And then smooth muscle movement isn't possible. The automatic movements stop happening. And so if he wants to actually pick something up, he's got to tell himself, okay, I've got to move my finger, I've got to lift my arm, I've got to stretch my arm, he's got to tell himself what to do.